In today's podcast, you'll learn 12 English idioms so that you'll sound more like a native speaker. And speaking of native speakers, my regular co-host Reza isn't here with me today, but I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Ben from the popular YouTube channel To The Point English with Ben. Welcome to
Aprende Inglés con Ben and Craig.
Hi Ben, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm really well, thanks, Craig. I'm very happy to be here again. Good to see you.
Good to see you, good to hear you. Now, if you're a long-time listener to the podcast, you'll know that Ben has been on here before. He spoke about how to prepare for the Cambridge English exams. If you are about to take an English exam, go to inglespodcast.com/Ben and listen to his excellent advice. Now, Ben, for people who don't know you, can you tell them what you do online to help English students?
Yeah, sure. I'm an English teacher. I've been an English teacher for over 20 years now, so it's a very long time. But about 4 years ago, I started a YouTube channel called To The Point English with Ben to reach more people, to help more people. And I really specialize in the Cambridge English exam, so specifically the B2 First, which used to be called the FCE, the C1 Advanced, which was the CAE, and the C2 Proficiency, which used to be the CPE, Cambridge English exams. So yeah, that's what I really focus on my YouTube channel. A lot of tips on preparation and strategy on how to pass the exams. But I also make videos more focused on vocabulary and grammar and some pronunciation, which are really useful for the exams, of course, but also for general English. So yeah, that's basically what I do online.
Okay, so it's tothepointenglish.com or ttpenglish.com, and the YouTube channel, it's To The Point English with Ben on YouTube, and I'll put those links also in the show notes. So Ben, it is payback time. I'm getting my own back. Why am I saying that?
Well, I think you're saying that because you kindly and bravely recently appeared on my YouTube channel in an interview. Well, more like a class in which we were teaching vocabulary, but I didn't tell Craig what we were going to do before we started the video. So not easy to appear on a YouTube channel, on a YouTube video when you don't know what you're going to do. So I didn't give him any information, but we looked at fossil words. If you want to know what fossil words are, you can check out that video on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so Craig had no opportunity to prepare for the video or anything, but he did very well with his definitions and his examples. And yeah, I think that's why he's saying that this is payback time, because it's going to put me through something similar today, I think.
Today we're doing something very similar. Now, I did mention to Ben that we're talking about idioms today, but he has no idea what these 12 idioms are that we're going to look at. So I'd like you listening or watching to play along with us. So when I say the first part of the idiom, you try to complete it before Ben does, and let's see if you can guess or know these idioms.
Let's see if I can guess these idioms. I mean, I think this could be a test for me. I'm a bit nervous, a bit anxious, as you were about a week ago when we recorded my video, but it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I think you'll be fine, because I did ask ChatGPT for the most 12 common idioms. I also asked Microsoft Copilot and Google's Gemini, and then I looked at the 36 idioms, or they weren't 36, there were some doubles, some copies, but I kind of narrowed it down and reduced it to what I think are the 12 most common, so I'm sure you'll know these.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
Now, number one, I am thinking of buying something, and maybe you've seen it, Ben. It's a lovely little video device with audio as well. It's the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 video camera. It looks fantastic. You can keep it in your pocket, walk around with it. Have you seen this online at all?
I think I have. I think I've seen advertisements for it. It's similar to like a GoPro, isn't it? It's like for action shots to take with you when you're out cycling or hiking or running, those kind of things. Yeah, it looks really good.
Exactly. It looks lovely. The problem is it's really, really expensive. It costs an arm.
It costs an arm. I see this is the first idiom. It costs an arm I know this one. Should I give the listeners a chance to guess, or should I go for it immediately?
I think they've had a couple of seconds. Go for it. What do you think it is? It costs an arm what?
And a leg. It costs an arm and a leg. When something is very expensive, we can say it costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah, something costs an arm and a leg. It's
Yes.
really, really expensive. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, let's move on to number 2. So you've got 1 out of 1 so far. Well done. When you experience good times and bad times, we can say that we go through thick and...
Okay, yeah. Thick and thin.
Yes. Well done.
Good. Yeah,
You've got
thick and
it.
thin. That's like a bit of alliteration there, right? With the th and th, thick and thin. Often these idioms and binomials work well together because they have the same sound at the beginning of each word. So thick and thin. Also, they're literally opposites, aren't they? So
Exactly. So through thick and thin in good times and bad times. And the first idiom, cost an arm and a leg, I tried to find the origin of that and I couldn't find online where that comes from. But apparently thick and thin goes back to the 14th century and originally referred to moving through very thick or very dense parts of a forest and then moving to the sparse or the thinner parts of a forest where there are fewer trees. So that get walking through a forest and suddenly it's very thick, lots of trees, and then suddenly fewer trees. So going through thick and thin,
Right.
enduring all kinds of difficulties.
that's interesting. Yeah, because we often say, I'll be with you or I'll be by your side through thick and thin. When you're talking about a friend or maybe your husband or wife or boyfriend and girlfriend, you want to say, I'll stay with you through the good times and the bad times. So like maybe when you're trying to cross through a forest, it's interesting.
It's funny you mention relationships because a true story. My wife and I recently celebrated 30 years together.
Congratulations.
And thank you. On our wedding anniversary, I said to her, do you know Angelis, that's her name, Angelis, we met and I had no money during those very hard years with only bread and potatoes to eat, and you stuck by me through thick and thin, and then I broke my leg and you looked after me all those weeks through thick and thin, Angelis, and then our flat was burgled and they stole everything, all the furniture, but you stuck by me, Angelis, through thick and thin. And then the car accident, I was in hospital for a month and you stuck by me through thick and thin. And then we went to China and I got arrested and I was in prison for 3 weeks, but you stuck by me, Angelis,
Wow.
through thick and thin. And when we were robbed by gunpoint in South America, you
What?
were there, Angelis, through thick and thin. And the fire in the flat, everything was burned and we had no insurance, but you stuck by me, Angelis, through thick and thin. And I said, Angelis, you're a jinx. Nothing but bad luck with you. I want a divorce. Maybe my luck will change.
She's the reason for all these nightmare situations. Yeah. I was wondering where you were going with that. I thought, wow, you've had an interesting life, Craig. That's lots of thicks there, not many thins.
Actually, no, I wasn't. I wasn't telling the truth about my wife. I was joking. I was teasing you and teasing the listeners. I was pulling your...
Aha, I think we've got another idiom here. You were pulling my and the listener's leg.
Yeah.
Pull someone's leg.
Exactly. To joke or tease someone is to pull their leg.
Yeah, that's a very common one. Yeah, I think these first three are, as you said, they're the most common idioms. But I think sometimes when I teach idioms, and probably the same for you, Craig, sometimes I see my students kind of thinking, "Do you really use this, or is it just just funny?" But no, we really use these idioms. They come up a lot in real situations, in more sort of informal, colloquial situations. But it's real.
Some more than others. And I think sometimes, well, two things. I think, first of all, some English students kind of go for one idiom and they just keep using it over and over again, even though a native English speaker wouldn't use it. For example, it's raining cats and dogs. I don't think I've ever said that.
No.
There are other things I'd say. And the second thing is, I think it's very difficult to use idioms as a non-native speaker in the right context, in the right place.
Yes.
Have you found that with your students?
Yeah, well, I found it with my students, and I find it with me in Spanish. We both live in Spain and speak English as a Spanish as a second language, and you have to be very sure that not only you're using it in the right context, but that you're getting the idiom right, because If you say, for example, with the last example, I'll be with you through thin and thick, that doesn't sound quite right, does it? It has to be in the correct words in the correct order. So through thick and thin, not through thin and thick. So I think idioms are great to learn because they are fun and they're interesting and they are useful because we use them. But you have to be a little bit careful and always remember that it's really important and useful to learn vocabulary for your passive understanding. We use these idioms, so you need to be able to understand them when you hear them or when you read them in a book or in an article. So yeah, it's definitely very useful to learn, but be careful when you're using them actively yourself.
Yeah, good point. Be careful how you're using them, definitely, and don't overuse them either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break here because I know you listen to this podcast to take your English to the next level. But what about your speaking? Is your fluency improving? Are you happy with your speaking skills? My conversation course focuses on making you a more confident and more fluent English speaker. You'll join me and a small group of motivated students, and we'll meet on Zoom and have topical discussions, role plays, debates, and presentations that will expand your vocabulary and help you express yourself effectively in English. So be proactive and take the first step towards becoming a confident and fluent English speaker. Send me an email today to craig@inglespodcast.com and I'll send you details of the next online conversation course. Thanks for listening. Now let's get back to the podcast. Let's move to number 4 then. Now, in the conversation groups that I do online with students, I always look forward to the first lesson at the beginning of the course. Very often the students don't know each other. We spend some time introducing ourselves, and I have some fun activities that help us to break
the ice.
Break the ice.
Break the ice,
you've got
yeah.
it. Break the ice.
Good one, yeah.
So to initiate conversation in a social setting, to start speaking about something so that everybody feels more comfortable.
Yeah.
Any idea where that one's from?
No, I would imagine it has something to do with ships passing through icy water.
Yes, exactly. That is it. From the 16th century, it referred to breaking ice to allow ships to pass and go through the certain parts of the sea. And then it evolved to speaking about social awkwardness to initiate conversation.
Yeah. As you said, in a class situation, when it's your first class with new students, everybody's a little bit, tense, or, you want to break the ice. But often at a dinner party or something, maybe you don't know everybody who's around the table. And if someone tells a joke to break the ice or something, just to, everybody relaxes and then starts chatting and having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, number 5. As you know, Ben, I really like YouTube videos. I like podcasting, but I think I need to be on another social media platform, maybe to attract some more students to my courses. I've thought about Instagram, I've thought about TikTok and LinkedIn, but I can't make up my mind because each platform has its advantages and disadvantages. I can't decide. I'm really on the
I think you're on the fence.
Yes.
The
5
fence.
out of 5. 5 out of 5.
100% so far. Going well. Yeah. So you're on the fence about which social media platform to choose. Yeah.
Undecided or neutral, perhaps. Is there anything you're on the fence about at the moment?
I'm always on the fence. I find it very difficult to take decisions. So I'm very indecisive. But at the moment, yeah, probably we have some friends from Madrid coming to visit. This evening, they're staying in another place and we're not sure what to do with them. We might just stay at home and have some drinks, or we might go out. And I'm on the fence, to be honest. I don't really mind either way. So whether we go out for drinks or whether we stay at home. It's all good. It's all good for me, so I'm on the fence.
But if you've got bad weather up where you are in the north of Spain, then maybe it might be better to stay in and get them to record a video with you, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll put the fire on, I think.
I'll put a fire on. Yeah. So, yeah, number 6, though, Ben, obviously I need to make a decision about this sooner or later. I need to bite the...
This one I love because I use this a lot with my students. To bite the bullet.
Yes. What does that mean?
Well, to finally do something, to do something unpleasant or something you perhaps don't want to do, to take action or it's usually something, you don't bite the bullet and do something you want to do, something positive. It's usually something unpleasant or something you don't want to do.
Yeah, I often use it before I spend a lot of money, like that DJI video recorder. If I eventually bite the bullet and buy it, it's going to be quite a chunk, quite a big piece out of my monthly salary.
Yeah, exactly. I use it with my students who've maybe been preparing for Cambridge English exams for months or maybe even years sometimes. And I say, yeah, I know you don't feel that you're ready and you feel that you could always prepare a little bit more, learn a bit more vocabulary, practice a few more sample exams. But you need to bite the bullet because, English is not just about preparing for an exam. It's more than that. So bite the bullet. If you pass, great. If you fail, it's a great experience anyway. But bite the bullet. Take the exam. Do it.
Do you know where that comes from, that idiom?
I think I do. I may be wrong, but I think it's when somebody, like in a war situation, who is injured and maybe they have to amputate a limb or something, or without anesthetic, they have to perform some kind of operation. The doctor has to perform some kind of operation without anesthetic, and they give them a bullet to bite to alleviate the pain in some way.
Exactly. Yeah, it symbolizes facing a difficult situation with courage. Yeah, maybe also to cost an arm and a leg might match quite well with that. If you're having an amputation, you have to bite a bullet.
Yeah, I can't imagine going through that. But yeah, I mean, it's funny how we use these idioms in a very sort of day-to-day ways, but the origins are quite gruesome and horrific.
Quite horrific. Yeah. Okay, number 7. It's hard to create videos, Ben. Your videos on YouTube seem effortless the way you do them, very professional. You look really natural in front of the camera and you make it look so easy, Ben. In fact, you make it look like a piece of...
I think if you're saying it's very easy, it's a piece of cake, right? It's something that's very easy as a piece of cake. Yes.
Something very easy. Yeah. Are you? Is it a piece of cake to make videos? Would you say?
It's not at all. I find it very difficult. As you know, Craig, there's a lot involved in the process, coming up with an idea, preparing it, recording it, which is, I mean, you say I come across as natural. I feel very unnatural talking to a camera on my own in my room.
It does get easier though with time, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The more you do it, the easier it gets. I would say the first 50 videos I made were awful. They were not a piece of cake at all. They were very difficult, and I came across very stiff and forced and unnatural. But yeah, it gets easier with time, like everything. The more you practice, the easier it gets. But it's definitely not a piece of cake. It's tough. I think some people find it more natural and easier than others, but for me, it's still an effort each time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it is quite difficult. Now, you do release videos on YouTube on a regular basis. Now, maybe you know the subject or the focus of your next video. What's that going to be? Can you tell us the secret? Can you let the...
I thought you were going to use a different one then, but this must be more common. Let the cat out of the bag?
Yes, well done.
Let the cat out, to reveal a secret. Can I say the one I thought you were going to say?
Yeah, what did you think I meant?
To spill the beans. To spill the beans.
Oh, to spill the beans. Yeah, I'll add that to the notes. To spill the beans. It's very similar, isn't it? But to let the cat out of the bag, it's usually unintentionally, isn't it? You don't mean to tell the secret, but it slips out.
Yeah, to spill the beans, it's about revealing a secret, but perhaps more intentionally, yeah. But maybe you're reluctant, but you do tell the secret in the end, yeah.
So, do you know where this idiom comes from?
Again, I think I do. I think it's nothing to do with a real cat, is it? We're not referring to real cats, or maybe there are different theories here. But what I've heard, it's about a whip called the cat of nine tails.
Oh, really? Okay. As punishment.
Yeah, on ships. Yeah, there was this whip that had 9 strings, so it was like 9 cat's tails. So they called it the cat of nine tails. Cat of nine tails. So on the ships, when a sailor had to be punished, the whip was kept in a bag, and they took the cat out of the bag. So I'm not sure I can't remember what that's got to do with revealing a secret, but that's what I heard. Is that not the origin you know?
I think I read that, but when I checked the meaning, it gave me something different, but I'll tell you in a second. But that idea of taking it would be a surprise, wouldn't it, to take a whip of leather, 9 strips or pieces of leather out of a bag, then that would be revealing something for sure. But what I read was that back in the 18th century, people in the markets would sell animals maybe to eat. So maybe they'd sell a small pig, which is a piglet, in a bag. But some people committed fraud and deception, and they put a cat in the bag instead of a pig. So when the cat was let out, the deception was revealed.
That sounds much more logical than mine.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes these phrases, I don't think people are sure. They're not always sure where they're from, but both, I think, could be possible.
Yeah, but yours definitely sounds more logical, because I don't know why you would keep a whip in a bag anyway. You'd probably just hang it on the wall. So, but yeah, I think that makes more sense. Yeah, as you said, there are often different theories on the origin of these idioms, and maybe none of them are right, but it's fun to investigate anyway.
But I think also it helps students remember, helps me remember, where they're from, how to use them, the cat out of the bag, the pig looks like a cat or maybe moves like a cat inside the bag. So again, to reveal a secret unintentionally is to let the cat out of the bag. Next one, number 9. So there's a new method, Ben, that claims that people can learn English in 4 weeks without studying. Do you believe it? I think maybe we should take it with...
I think we should take it with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
A pinch of salt, yeah. We shouldn't take it too seriously, or not. It's not really realistic.
Exactly. We shouldn't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, Ben. Students have tried this new system, this new method of learning English, and they really like it. In fact, they like it so much that they say it's the best thing since...
It's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yes, 10 out of 10. Well done.
I love that one too. That's one of my favourite idioms, I think, because it's so strange.
What do you mean?
Well, it's the best thing. It's really emphasising how great this thing is that you're talking about. It's amazing. It's like the best thing almost ever, or in a long, long time. It's the best. It's just amazing. It's great. The best thing since sliced bread. But I love that idiom because why? Why did we decide, of all the things that have been invented, sliced bread is the best
you'd
thing.
think it would be like the best thing since electricity, or the best thing since the internet,
wheel,
or the wheel,
or the telephone, or I don't know. The best thing since football was invented, I don't know, but sliced bread, boy.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, it's obvious, I think, where this comes from. Back in the 1920s, that's when they invented pre-sliced bread that you can buy that has already been sliced or cut up for you. And it was marketed as a revolutionary convenience to have your bread pre-sliced. So that's where it's from, obviously, yeah.
And just because we're in Spain, and I guess there are a lot of Spanish listeners, I love the Spanish version, which is basically the translation. Well, it's not a version of the idiom, but the sliced bread in Spanish is pan bimbo, right? Pan bimbo.
Pan bimbo, yeah.
When I go to the supermarket and my girlfriend says, don't forget to buy bread, and if I come back with sliced bread, she's angry. I said bread, not pan bimbo, not sliced bread, because they have a very different concept of bread here, but yeah.
You should have said to her, what's wrong with this? It's the best thing since.
Yeah, it's the best thing since the wheel. Yeah,
okay, we're nearly there. 2 more to go, Ben. So number 11, I was thinking that you have some pressure to create videos on a regular basis for your channel, To The Point English with Ben. And in a similar way, I often feel under pressure to create podcast episodes every week to keep up the consistency, to maintain the consistency. So really, we are in the same...
Okay, we're in the same boat, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well done.
We're in the same boat.
What does that mean?
When you say you're in the same boat as someone, or people are in the same boat, they're in the same situation, basically. They have the same situation, whatever the context may be. But in this case, Craig and I do similar things online, so we're in the same boat in some aspects, some situations.
Yeah, very nice. Difficult situation. It's usually a difficult, hard situation.
That's
for
true,
someone
yeah.
else.
It's important, yeah.
We're in the same boat, yeah. Do you ever feel like giving up, Ben? Do you ever think, oh, I need to make another video, I have no idea what to talk about? Do you ever feel like throwing in...
Do I ever feel like throwing in the towel?
Yes, 12 out of 12.
Yes.
What does that mean? What does that mean, and where's it from? Where's it come from?
Okay, I think I know where it's from. To throw in the towel means to give up, to stop trying. It's like, maybe you just had enough. You're fed up with what you're doing, or it's just too hard, too difficult. I give up. And yeah, it's a really interesting origin and quite literal in this case. It's from boxing, I guess, right, Craig?
Absolutely.
When a boxer is getting pummeled, is getting destroyed, and he has no chance of winning the fight, but he's not knocked down. Sorry, he or she is not knocked down on the canvas, but his or her corner, so the people, his trainer, throw in the towel, which signals to the referee that they are stopping the fight. They're giving up the fight.
Exactly. Well done. Well, you've got 12 out of 12. That was absolutely fantastic. I hope you did well listening. Before we say goodbye, let's go back to the beginning and just test Ben and you to see what you remember. What was the first one, Ben, that meant very expensive?
To cost an arm and a leg.
So to cost an arm and a leg, very, very expensive. The second one, in good times and bad times.
Through thick and thin.
Yeah.
Through there, to go through thick and thin. And your example or the explanation with the forest it helps remember that.
Difficult, as you said, difficult to pronounce. You have to play with your tongue there to get the through and then thick and thin. Quite difficult. Make sure your tongue's between your teeth. The third one, to joke or tease someone.
To pull someone's leg.
To pull someone's leg, which in Spanish, the direct translation is to pull someone's hair, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the next one was to initiate or start a conversation in a social setting, maybe when people are not feeling very comfortable.
That's to break the ice. To break the ice.
Yeah, remember the ship going through the ice, to break it. Number 5, when you're undecided or neutral.
To be on the fence, right?
Exactly, to be on the fence about something. I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure. Yeah. To endure a painful situation bravely, like a soldier in the war.
Oh, to bite the bullet.
Yep, to bite the bullet. Number 7 was something that's very easy to do, especially if it's chocolate.
A piece of cake.
Just think of a lovely piece of chocolate cake. It's very easy to eat it.
Is that? Yeah, I guess that's the origin, right? It's difficult not to eat it, so it's very easy. Yeah. Okay.
The next one, to reveal a secret unintentionally.
To let the cat out of the bag.
Then we had not to take something too seriously.
I can't remember.
To take it with...
Oh, yeah. To take something with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, to take something with a pinch. Take it with a pinch of salt. Don't take it too seriously. And then number 10 was a great invention or innovation, like pan bimbo in Spain.
All right, yeah. It's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yes. Number 11 was to be in the same difficult situation as someone else.
To be in the same boat.
Correct, be in the same boat. And the last one was to give up or admit defeat.
To throw in the towel.
Like a boxer, to throw in the towel. That's it. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Ben. That was absolutely fantastic. You scored 12 out of 12. Very impressive.
I'm very proud of myself. Thank you very much. Do I get a medal or some kind of certificate?
You get bragging rights that you've been on the Ingles podcast and on the Ingles podcast YouTube channel with a full score, a perfect score. So congratulations. If I was an Olympic representative, I would give you a gold medal because we're in the middle of the Olympics when we're recording this. But unfortunately, I can just say well done.
I won the Idiom Olympics.
Idiom Olympics, yeah. Before we say goodbye, can you remind people where you're from? And if you want more of Ben, and why wouldn't you, where can you go to find out about what you do?
You can find YouTube channel, all my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel, To The Point English with Ben. That's where I share most of my content. And there you'll find links to my online courses, but also on my website, TTP English. The TTP, by the way, some people don't know why, but it's To The Point. TTT is To The Point English.com. You can contact me through there if you have any questions about anything, really. I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you very much for doing this, Ben. I've really had a lot of fun with this. And until next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
And now it's your turn to practice your English. Why don't you send us a voice message and practice using some of the idioms we spoke about today? You can do that by going to speakpipe.com. That's speakpipe.com/Ingles podcast. If you prefer to contact us by email, you can do that with a comment or question. Write to me, Craig, that's CRAIG, at inglespodcast.com. And to contact my permanent co-host Reza, who will be back next week, you can write to Belfast Reza, BELFASTREZA at gmail.com. And if you're a Spanish speaker, and I know that many of you are, you can go to the Mansion Ingles website for some paid material and courses to help you with your self-study. The address for that is store.mansioningles.net. And before I go, thank you so much to all of our wonderful Patreon supporters. And you too can join our Patreon program for as little as $1 per month. And with that, you get instant access to the transcriptions of this podcast so that you can read every word that you hear. Go to patreon.com, patreon.com/Ingles podcast. Unfortunately, the list of our Patreon supporters is too long to mention here, but I will say many, many thanks to our most recent Patreon supporters, and they are Guillermina Jover, Arancha, Maribel Rodriguez, Geraldo, Adria Puig Cabruja, Esther, Carmen de la Torre Palomo, and Marina Perez Trigueros. Thank you to you and to everybody who is supporting this podcast. As I said, next week Reza will be back with me, but I don't know yet what the topic of the podcast will be. I'm very curious and interested to know how Reza has spent his summer, so I look forward to getting back together with him. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this podcast, please tell your friends so that more people can listen. Thank you so much for listening this week. Thank you to Ben for his time. And until next week, it's goodbye from me. The music in this podcast is by Pitts. The track is called See You Later.